Hello, it's Paulus, the Cabaret Geek here, and I'd like to introduce you to my Patreon platform. Now, if you don't know what Patreon is, the best way I can describe it is that they're like the WWF, that's the World Wildlife Fund, not the Wrestling Federation, and I'm like an endangered panda. That's kind of the vibe we're going for. And it's an opportunity for you to support a creative like myself on a monthly basis. Now, I've been an entertainer and an educator for 30 years now, and I very much hope I will be for another 30, but it's tough right now. I mean, it's always tough in the arts. There's never enough money. There's never enough pay for what you do, whether that be teaching or performing. But the next few years, for obvious reasons, are going to be even tougher. You know, theatres are closing up and down the country. And as the cabaret expert for the last 3 decades, I think that there's an opportunity in the coming years for cabaret to really play its part in rebuilding the arts scene in the UK and further afield. 100 years ago, when cabaret was having its heyday in Germany in the 1920s, it was a platform for dissent, to say, no, that's not good enough. We want this to change. We don't agree with that, to the powers that be. And, you know, if ever you've come across a little basement club underneath your favourite pub, or maybe a little space in the corner of a bar with a piano in it, with a tiny little dais, those are all cabaret experiences. And the whole history of cabaret is about little art, Kleinkunst, they call it in Germany, making a big difference. Yes, I want very much for theatre to come back in a big, bold way in future years, but perhaps these small places, these lo-fi with big ambitions, spaces that cabaret often are, can help to rebuild that. I've also created a theatre show called Looking for My Friend, the music of Victoria Wood, which is an homage to our national treasure, who we lost almost 5 years ago now. It was created for the Edinburgh Festival, which of course then got cancelled in 2020, but we have still managed to put on a couple of performances, socially distanced already, in the latter parts of 2020 to audiences who were just clamouring for an hour of love and laughter, warmth, nostalgia through Victoria's songs. And there is a 2-act version of the show which needs researching and developing and putting on its feet, and I very much would love to spend the next 5 to 10 years taking this around the country and making more people smile and making more people happy with our little show. And I've also been working on a musical, my first musical ever, with composer Jordan Paul Clark. I'm the lyricist and the book writer, and this is, I suppose, semi-autobiographical in some ways. It's called Building Paulus, and it's about the life of a drag queen performer, in some ways the antithesis of everybody's talking about Jamie. It's a little darker, a little grittier, but certainly still full of campery and certainly still full of fun moments as well. And that still needs to be developed and researched. And throughout all of this work, I will still teach people acting through song, teaching them what cabaret is, helping them to put their first cabaret show on. Those are all the things that I do in drama schools or one-to-one with students, either on Zoom or in my home in southeast London. And your support, whether it be £3 or £50, will go towards helping me continue to do that and underpin that work. There are 5 tiers of benefits that I offer, depending on how much you give, and they range from a shout out on social media to free one-to-one consultations to help you with your creativity, and loads of things in between. So I would really love for you to at least have a look at my Patreon platform, see what tiers are available, and even if it is just the price of a fancy coffee a month, please don't underestimate what that could do for my self-esteem and my bank balance when everybody gets together and helps to support the arts in such a way. Thank you very much for listening. See you next time, if we're saved.